for Chidi because there's a limit to what Chidi can do for himself when it comes to cooking. So it's going to be very bad for him since Rayne doesn't cook. Just so.
You know what's quite interesting though? Rayne has kids. She can't cook. Rayne has children, but she can't cook proper food. Let's just make sense out of that. Wow. Okay.
Deep and spiritual. Huh? What do you mean by spiritual? It's not something that happened physically between two of you. Good.
I can't believe that she even asked me that Chidi and I were physical at the dinner table in front of family.
I mean, to be fair, there is always a time and place when you can ask someone a question, but then at the same time, there are always questions that you can't ask people, and there's questions that are just and then there are questions that are just none of your business. For me personally, I don't know why it is his sister's business, whether or not him and Rayne have actually done the dirty or not. But hey.
Why do you look so angry?
I'm not angry.
No, but I see you all the time, and I'm just saying, like, throughout this whole time, you've been looking real angry.
I am not angry. I'm just stressed about my baby.
She's stressed.
No, I'm just making. That's why I asked you. I said,
and I've explained to you. I'm not angry.
She's not 100%
happening. I kind of find it difficult to know if Rayne is overreacting. But my sister is never an angry person.
Obviously, I don't know his sister, so obviously I can't really be saying that I disagree, but I disagree. She probably is. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people, you know, from back home in the African continent in particular, hey. But to be fair, I will say this though, sometimes people can look angry, but it doesn't mean that they're angry, which is something that is called a resting B-face. So it could easily just be that too. Either way though, was Rayne right to ask the sister this question? I'm going to say no. Rather than saying, why are you looking angry? You could just say, hey, are you okay? Simple as that. You know, ask in a more positive light rather than in a more negative light. So the fact that Rayne asked in a more negative light, no, it's not needed. Simply could have said, hey, are you okay? Hey, are you okay with me? Anything. Nothing that at least is not implying something. Do you see what I'm saying? Saying that you are looking angry means you're implying that this person looks angry. If you're asking, hey, are you okay? Or hey, do you have any issues with me? It's literally a question. It makes sense to me, but let's continue.
My sister is never an angry person. Rayne is deeply insecure and she always feels everyone is up against her.
You see, this is the thing that I wonder though. Why is he with her if he knows that she's an insecure person and he knows that she's going to overreact and he knows that this is how she's going to be? You would think he would want to be with someone that when they come to his family home, they're going to have more respect for his family. Not be with someone that he knows that can be challenging because this person has these obstacles around them. I'm just saying, it says a lot about the person that's in the relationship with the person that is the problem. You see what I'm saying? You can be the problem, but the person that's with you is just as bad for being with you, depending on the situation. In this situation, he's just as bad for being with her because this isn't like a domestic type relationship. You see what I'm saying? This is a relationship where the option is very clear that he can walk away and so can she, but he's choosing to be with someone that he knows flat out. So there you go. It's always easy to point the finger, but it's never easy to just take accountability. So sad.
Bugs me anymore. When I don't get along with people, I move on. I don't linger. Comfortable to like stay in a hotel room with me?
I wish you can still have I wish you can still have more time together at home.
Listen, it doesn't matter how loco, how cuckoo, how crazy this woman is. Generally speaking, she has flew all the way to Nigeria to see her man, to spend time with her man. The fact that he hesitated with the answer is crazy. And then the answer that he gives, anyone would be absolutely irate being told no. Let's keep it a buck. I would be absolutely not happy if I was told no. Not with any views. Come on, let's be real now. You've been speaking to this person for 5.5 years. You finally make that flight to go and see them. And then they don't even want to spend any quality time with you away from their family? If that isn't suspect, then hey, giddy ga.
It's not that I'm uncomfortable. I'm just uncomfortable with the situation because I came so freaking far to see my soulmate that I'm supposed to marry, that he wants to marry me so bad.
And another thing I will say this, I don't believe that he didn't know about this. He knew that this woman was going to be a headache. He knew that she had buttons that can easily be picked at. Okay. And we all know that sometimes when it comes to this show, producers and people will be pushing them in ways to try and instigate them to cause. You see what I'm saying? I have a feeling that there's a chance that before Renee hit some of these scenes, she was poked, because they knew that she's ready to, and she did that. That's not me defending her. It's just that the fact is her reactions, but then his answers don't help the fact that he knows that she's going to react like this. I am starting to believe that what she has been saying about how she was put in this position where she had to look like this crazy person, which she is kind of like a setup, you know? Just because somebody's crazy doesn't mean the things that they write on their social media is incorrect. And we've seen her rant a lot. And the more she rants, the more I'm like, fair enough, she's not the best messenger, but at the same time, I'm like, things seem to be adding up a little bit though. But let's continue.
It's just my faith. You understand?
You believe God has ordained us, so I don't see the issue with you being alone with me.
Because I am a man. I have blood running all over me. You understand?
I remember what? No, hold on a minute. Okay, let me tell you something right now. Okay? If I, the man, tell you that I do not want to sleep with you, it means whether I'm in the same room as you, in the same bed as you, I'm going to hold my because I'm going to be true to my word. Now, let me flip it. Let's say me, the man, I'm with a woman and she says to me that I do not want to be physical. I will still respect the fact that it's physical, even if it means we are still going to be staying in the same bed or in the same room, whatever the situation. So the fact that he's out here saying about, oh, well, yeah, I don't really want to be in the hotel with you because, you know, I got blood running through my body. So therefore, I don't want temptation to get the best of me. What? So that means you're not true to your word. That means you're not true to your faith. It means you're just saying things for the sake of saying it, because people that make choices to be celibate, stick to them regardless of the pressure. And if they give in because they want to. Some of them, they not take accountability to the fact they do because they want to, because they may say, oh, it's because he did this or she did that, but the grand scheme of it is because they want to, unless of course it's on the other extreme, which I won't say.
No, you know what? No,
Look, we're not arguing.
Shut up, Dad. I'm trying to be nice to you. Promise on your entire life that the entire trip I'm here, I'm not going to touch you in any sexual way. I just want to hang out with you, okay?
I need privacy with her. That is real. That is reality. But I believe if we move into a more quiet and private place, that I might capitulate.
But she gave you her word. Why not trust her word? She said to you, listen, I will not do anything physical with you. I just want to have some quality time with you. I just want to spend time with my man. I've been waiting 5.5 years to freaking see you and to be around you. I just want to spend time with you privately without interruptions from your family. Is that such a hard thing to do? Now, of course, her delivery is absolutely atrocious, and this is her biggest issue. And when your delivery is like that, it is always very hard for people to want to see things from your point of view because you are way too rude with it. But either way, though, it doesn't change the fact that what you're saying is literally factual, and what he's saying is nonsense. She just told you that she's not going to put that pressure on you. So if you don't trust the fact that she's not going to put that pressure on you, you need to walk away from her. Or let's say he does trust that she's not going to put that pressure on him, but he doesn't trust himself to be with her by himself because he thinks he's then going to break. Well, then that clearly means, again, you're not true to not your word, you're not true to your faith. Because he keeps using his faith. Oh boy, I can't wait for the many people that are going to disagree with me. No, man, it's like that. Look in front of your eyes. Don't blind yourself just because you don't like Rayne. Come on now. Let's use our eyes properly, huh? Let's put on our binoculars. Do I look like an owl? Oh, I look like an owl. Okay. Let's continue.
In my vows, there are some things I need to just avoid. In a society where there are norms, where there are principles.
And you know what the sad part is you care more about what people think.
No, it's not.
Hey.
She's not lying though. It seems to me as if you care about certain people's things. But to be fair, it's not the case the way he cares about what people think. That's just the reasons he's giving you, dearie. Those are just the reasons he's giving you. There's nothing to do with him caring about other people. Nope. I don't think he's not that type of person to care.
about to believe. You understand?
Well, I'm not gonna come to your beliefs because I'm far beyond your little beliefs. I know that you see me as too much of a temptation by staying with me in the room shows me that you're just not ready for me, right? Like.
No, it doesn't show that he's not ready for you. It just shows that he clearly doesn't trust you or trust himself, which basically, or it just shows that he's full of BS. Being ready for you, I don't know. I don't see how that makes sense. But maybe I've misread that bit. Let me know.
I know, like I can sit here and be like, oh, you're my
Extremely overwhelmed by Rayne right now. The more louder she gets, the more disoriented I become.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm serious. I wasted a lot of money, a lot of time. Don't say no.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm serious.
It hurts me greatly to hear her mean words, her aggression, her anger. That if I don't go with her to the hotel, she will end our relationship. So I don't know what to do.
I am going to call this out right now. This little last bit there, I purposely think that TLC did that on purpose to make her look like she is the ultimate villain and as if she's taking advantage of him and as if she's literally being inconsiderate of himself. I generally think that that was edited in that way, legit, because that's what they do, okay? We don't always see it, but it's what they do. And in this situation, that's what I'm calling it out for. But on the other side of things, okay? Is she right to still continue to communicate with him the way she is? Some of us may say no, she's not right. Some must say yes, she is right because he's not giving her the answers that she deserves because he's literally saying this and that and he's not really saying enough. He's not giving her no reassurance. He's giving her no clarity. He's giving her no affirmation whatsoever that he's in this for the right reasons or whatever. Everything that he's doing is giving her every reason to believe that he just does not want her. He knows that she's insecure, but yet he's not doing anything to actually look after those insecurities. Generally speaking, if you're with someone and you know that person is insecure, that means you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to want to tap into that person's love language, so therefore that person can be less insecure rather than be doing things as poking at that person's insecurity. And he knows her biggest insecurity is rejection. That's one of them. But yet he continues to keep doing that. Like, bruh, you made a choice to be this woman, and you're also saying to us that you don't want to lose her, which I find it very hard to believe. Either way, the matter of the fact is this, right? Rayne is clearly a loose cannon. She's loco, she's cuckoo. She obviously needs to learn to hold her tongue, and she needs to learn how to communicate, and she needs to learn how to be more respectful. But at the same time, though, Chidi needs to learn, okay, to not mislead women. Because in my opinion, in this situation, he has misled her at some point. He has made her feel as if, listen, when we are together, we're going to be getting it down. But then when she got there, he said, no, it's not going to happen. She didn't like it, but then she respected it. Moving on to respecting it, she's now simply asking for a simple thing. Can we not have a night in a hotel to have quality time? And yet he still wants to reject her. After he's already rejected her, after blindsiding her, he then continues to reject her, knowing these things are going to trigger her. In life, there are people that we know are easily triggered by certain things. We have a choice whether or not we want to be in that person's life because we're going to help not trigger that person or try our best to not do it. Or we choose to not be in that person's life because we know that person is too much for us. He's continuously choosing to allow her to be in his life. So where is that accountability for himself? He can't keep looking at his, well, Rayne's doing this, she's doing that, da-da-da-da-da, because the reality is the only thing that she's really doing is actually just trying to spend some time with you. Can somebody please tell me where is the harm in somebody trying their best, trying their hardest to respect your boundaries, but also just trying to at least have quality time? This is wild. This is absolutely blasphemy. How many people right now are in a relationship with someone or are talking to someone and all you wish is that person would make you a priority? That person would just give you their time. But every time they do that, but they're not, because they're doing something else or whatever the hell they're doing. And you wish you could just have an inch of the one that Rayne has for Chidi, but Chidi keeps putting her down, knowing full well it's tapping into her insecurities. He is not a good person, nor is she necessarily a good person. But in this situation right here, if you ask me, he's the worst person in it. Because, bruh, he's not even been a man yet. You're too busy talking about your faith as an excuse. Too busy talking about how she's being too much as an excuse. When easily you could just shut everything down ASAP. By two things. It's either one, you leave her. Or two, you actually start to allow her to feel appreciated in some format. Everybody wants to feel appreciated and wanted in a relationship. Nobody wants to feel rejected. And this is why we now live in this world where there are something called toxic relationships, where we have people who are in relationships with people, and those people will purposely gaslight their partner, purposely poke at their partner, XYZ. Sadly, we have more of those relationships than we do have healthy relationships, which is why so many people nowadays just don't even want to try and be in a relationship anymore, because they fear the headache that it comes with, because of people that behave like Chidi. Says one thing when she's in America, but then completely flips it when she's there. Wow. Maybe he really is gaslighting her. Either way, Rayne needs to find her self-worth. And obviously this is pre-recorded, but she needs to find her self-worth. And hopefully in the future, this doesn't happen to her again. And hopefully finding her self-worth will help her actually calm the F down. Because, yeah, she's doing too much. But in this situation, I see why. Doesn't mean it's acceptable, but I see why. Nonetheless, don't forget. Oh, yeah, so therefore, if anything, just like I said, he has options to either leave her or to give her that reassurance. She has option to leave him as well. Or she can just be submissive to what he wants and never be happy herself in particular. So she does have options herself too. It's not a one-way situation. They're both in their own faults. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.